Hey, Savages, it's that Sunday morning news cycle here for you. We got a few topics to cover, most of them absolutely disturbing as usual. All right, but you know the deal. You want to hit? Here you go.
Any arrows out of your quiver, you're not ruling anything out.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cause fuck you, that's why. Cause fuck you, that's why. Cause our youth needs their butt kicked, that's why. They ought to be fighting in a war, that's why. They need fucking discipline, that's why. Fuck you, that's why.
We have an update for you on Massachusetts U.S. Attorney Rachel Rollins. A brand new report just out moments ago finds that she, quote, willfully violated the Hatch Act on multiple occasions during her time as U.S. Attorney. Now, the report published by the U.S. Office of Special Counsel comes one day after Rollins announced that she plans to resign from her post by the end of the week. So let's explain what this means here. The Hatch Act is critically important to our government and certain parts of certain branches of our government being nonpartisan. It's designed to limit certain political activities of federal employees to ensure federal programs remain nonpartisan and not biased. Rollins is accused of attending a political party fundraiser while in office. The report also saying she tried to sabotage the campaign of a political candidate by leaking non-public information to the media. Rollins' resignation comes just 16 months after she was sworn in.
Welcome in, American Deplorables. Thanks for coming as always. Appreciate the stop. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday morning here. We'll jump right into it. So, another Soros-backed, Biden-appointed prosecutor resigns in disgrace. Massachusetts prosecutor Rachel Rollins, after a watchdog group discovers that she violated the Hatch Act multiple times as being involved in political fundraisers and whatnot. The Hatch Act being there to prevent bureaucrats from being politically polarized, and also leaking private, unpublic information of political rivals to the media, right? So, I mean, an absolute slimeball fucking lizard tool like the vast majority of anyone involved in the Democrat Party and surely the old Biden's regime. But the message here is the old Lizard King seems to be failing after $40 million direct funding to get these people put in place and hundreds of millions in indirect funding to place these pro-criminal piles of shit. All right. Moving on here. Speaking of piles of shit.
We're here for one simple reason. President Biden needs to consider using the 14th Amendment if necessary. The entire GOP debt ceiling negotiation is a sad charade. And that's exactly what's wrong in Washington. We're playing with the livelihoods of millions just so the GOP can just turn the screws against hungry Americans. This is the whole reason why the 14th Amendment exists. We need to be prepared to be using it. Again, remember, say that again. We must be prepared in order to use it. And we cannot let reckless Republicans hold the economy as a hostage. And an unelected Supreme Court justice will try to blow up our economy. That's on them if they have to judge on that. So, thank you.
Obviously, poor choice to deliver the message, poorly worded, and an absolute asinine concept. Democrats trying to do what they do, which is use any mode they can to avoid an actual functioning government and, avoid negotiating with Democrats over national debt and raising the debt ceiling, which is obviously the ability for the government to borrow and print your children and grandchildren's future away, like they've done so much of recently. The 14th Amendment, obviously being, a Reconstruction Act after the Civil War, and goes on to say that public debt, including incurred for pensions, bounties, for services, and suppressing insurrection and rebellion shall not be questioned. So, I mean, are they trying to use, the insurrections as a reason to use this to sidestep, their responsibilities of negotiation with the oversight body, the legislative body that holds the power of the purse strings? Or are they trying to say that, Congress being controlled by an opposing political party amounts to a rebellion? I'm not sure where they're going with this, but I believe that Republicans should use the next part of this article to, argue the point in the opposite direction, which says neither the U.S. or any state shall assume, pay any debt incurred in aid of insurrection against U.S. All such claims and debts shall be deemed illegal and void. And if the Twitter files, the FBI leaks, the Durham report, so on and so on, it actually amounts to, the Democrats have been the one that have posing a rebellion, an insurrection, and a coup, right? So wouldn't any debt that they've incurred since taking office or tried to strap you and your family down with, shouldn't they be deemed, illegal and void? Moving on, right? Senate Dems, as usual, now closely following the orders of the World Economic Forum and their lizard overlords. Also, straight a push from Orwell's 1984. They want to control all information and the ability to share information, right? We've heard again, WEF in recent episodes go on to tell you that the world's biggest threat at this point, even larger than old climate changes, is mis and disinformation, as they had old Brian Stetler, Potato Head, leading the pack, which is, hilarious in itself to speak on the subject. And now our Senate Dems obviously pushing, wanting to create a federal agency to police Americans for misinformation. They want to target hate speech and be able to hand out fines to citizens who don't comply, right? Calling this the Digital Platform Commission Act. It would be a 5-member board appointed by the president, of course. Of course, why else would they do this right before election seasons, right? That's got nothing to do with it. But they want to create an expert body to police digital platforms, right? And who deems these people experts? I mean, just because of a job or a certificate, it doesn't make you an expert, all right? But they want to give this commission full federal power for investigations and trials, while also demanding control over AI, right? As you have a lot of tech giants telling you how dangerous this technology is, they want you to hand over power to, government entities that botch a rollout of a website. You know what I mean? But they recently had a hearing on this as well, titled The Oversight of AI, where a string of tech CEOs, security chiefs, and even an NYU professor were quizzed on tech. One of the first orders of focus, how can AI be censored? Why, of course, that would be one of the first modes of focus, right? It's a race to control info, the mind of the masses, to prevent another avenue to spread and share up-to-the-minute news and takes. They would prefer they hold the narrative over, right? Same reason they try to depersonal Trumpsicles. Right? It's not that they feel that it's, someone is speaking, misinformation, because misinformation is easily torn apart with facts, statistics, and, proof. You know what I mean? Debate. But they would rather just nix your ability to have those discussions, in order to enshrine themselves as your permanent overlord. And while they all scream democracy, right, and we're actually a constitutional representative republic, they show you what they would do with a democracy, right? It's mob rule, and regardless of what the 49% thinks, they are going to do whatever the hell they want, because now I believe it's probably higher than that, and they're doing it. All right, moving on. A 30-ton shipment of explosive chemicals disappeared between Wyoming and California, right, early this month. Ammonium nitrate, obviously used for explosives, but also commonly used as fertilizer. 60,000 pounds to be exact. Left April 12th from Wyoming and found 2 weeks later, California Mojave Desert, empty. Right? The car was sealed when it left Wyoming, but it was sealed when they found it. Okay? And basically they're just like, a leak, could have just, appeared during shipment and basically dumped it all along tracks. They're trying to pinpoint a certain area where there's a 30-mile set of track where it switches tracks and then switches back on. And basically they're saying a leak developed during the switching of the tracks and it just leaked out and nobody knew about it. Right? 60,000 fucking pounds. Absolutely ridiculous, man. We'll stop here for the first episode. Someday I like to try to make 2. It sucks I can't get more during the week. I'm being absolutely slaved at work, working 12, 13 hours. So I try to do a bunch of shorts for you guys, clips and whatnot. But, it is what it is. Smell you later.
We're not against the Republicans. We're not against the Republicrats. We are against those MAGA thugs. Thugs. My
friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand.